Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of Genshin Impact the Series. I'm Big LT.
And I'm a sucker.
I'm going the wrong way. I always get turned around at that freaking waypoint.
Last episode, we expressed suspicion of Ning Wang. We spoke with Zhongli. We learned a little about Ganyu. We talked about the whole situation. And then the Fatui let us know that things are starting to go down.
Yep.
And now we're leaving the harbor?
Kinda.
Is this like the edge of the harbor?
Yeah, a bit.
Oh yeah, it's the cliffs around the harbor, right?
Many
Not
years.
really cliffs, but I guess
So
they're
I
kind
don't
of
see
cliffs.
any reason to be excited about the rain.
Well, Peruzan, just enjoy it.
Call her Madame Fruzan.
Madame Peruzan, I'm sorry.
Yeah. She always tells people that, it's like, call me Madame Fruzan.
Someday, I wish to be her friend so that I may refer to her with more casual respect.
Remind me to tell you something, we're done recording.
Oh, does she even have her friends call her Madame Peruzan?
I'm just gonna...
We'll wait on that, fine.
Yeah.
Ooh, can you just pan around real quick? I want to
Sure.
look at the water. Show me the pretty lake where mermaids can be.
I don't think there's any mermaids in here, just fish.
We should put mermaids in there. Oh, this isn't Eugene Terrace, is it?
Nope, this is the Golden House.
Golden House, that's right. That's one of the locations I haven't looked at very much in my research.
Anyways, you can see recommended party level 47. When I first did this, I was massively unprepared.
Oh.
So, going in with the usual level 60 team.
If I remember correctly, Golden House is essentially the center of production for Mora. Isn't it? It's called the Golden House because it's where all the gold comes from.
Maybe.
Or is processed.
Maybe.
Wow!
I think.
This is the Golden House? It looked impressive enough from the outside.
Oh, okay, I was right. Yes, look at it, look
But it was even fancier on the inside. And so full of Mora. This is where all of Tibet's Mora is minted, right? In that case, maybe they won't notice if a few Mora go missing.
Touch a single Mora and we're done for.
Oh, so it's tricky.
Time on.
Tricky. Good thing Paimon's got you here. But even if we can't take any, we can still have a closer look, right?
I
Or
wouldn't
better
dare.
yet, take a nap on top of a mountain of Mora. It's like a dream come true.
You better check on the Excuvia first. I probably butchered that.
I think it's Exuvia,
Yeah.
but I don't know for sure.
Too quiet. Surely someone's gotta be guarding something as important as the Exuvia.
Oh, we were both kind of right. I mean, you pronounce the X enough.
Here.
The Menolith.
Uh-oh. Paimon smells trouble. Quick.
I don't know about
we have
smell,
to
but I
make
see
sure
it.
that the Exuvia
Oh,
is
because that's the
alright.
body.
Just in case.
That's Rex Lapis's body. No place safer to keep it than in the Golden House.
Yep.
It's quite beautiful, especially since we didn't really see it before.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today?
Child.
If you were Fatui, I imagine that you would be entitled to a generous reward from the Tsaritsa herself. But now, you're nothing but dross, and you're in my way.
How did you find out I was here?
Where should I start? Well, I've never been one to beat around the bush, you know. But who could have possibly guessed that the god of Geo would mysteriously perish the very moment I arrived in Liyue, and that the Exuvia would subsequently be hidden away? If it weren't for that lovely little rite of parting ceremony you put together, it would have taken me a whole lot longer to get the information I needed. Stopping the Mora Mints, hiding away the Exuvia. The Chising are really pulling out all the stops this time.
So you've been planning to take the Gnosis from inside the Exuvia all along?
Yep.
As one of the 11 Fatui Harbingers, it's my duty to see the will of the Tsaritsa fulfilled. She will get that which she desires.
Not if I have anything to say about it.
I'm not asking for your blessing. And there's nothing you can do to stop me anyway. The time for discussion and diplomacy is already past. I mean, if it were up to me, I would have skipped that stage to begin with. But I'm willing to do as the Tsaritsa deems fit. Either way, we now come to my favorite part. A simple pleasure, and one that I am oh so delighted to be sharing with you. The battle.
Battle? So you're the type that goes looking for trouble, huh?
You could say that. When Signora offended the deities outside the cathedral in Mondstadt, she swiftly left the scene once her mission was accomplished. Instead of confronting you directly, she chose to rely on the snow and ice to make her escape. She wouldn't want the knights to come running towards the sound of battle now, would she? When she faces a worthy opponent, she will prioritize her mission, weigh the outcomes, and consider the consequences of her actions. But as for me, the greatest pleasure of being a harbinger lies in crossing
Wait,
blades
did he just
with
acknowledge that
strong
we were a worthy
opponents.
opponent?
We won't let what
Nice.
happened in Mondstadt ever happen again!
Oh, so you intend to fight me? Good. I won't kill you, Traveler. I'll just play along, to feel the thrill of battle. Besides, you could never defeat me, not even in your wildest dreams. But hey, try to relish the fight anyway, because if you ask me, without that, what else is there?
I could never defeat you? You're completely delusional.
Fighting talk, I love it. Now let's see you live up to it.
Hey, I didn't know Child could be so fiery. I knew he could be a jerk. I
This
didn't know he
chance
could be
is
so
hard to come
fiery.
by, so show me all you
Ironic considering he's Hydra.
Yep.
get the chance to square off with the Fatui Harbinger. So
He's not true Hydra, right?
I don't know. I'll have to check later. I am kicking his butt, surprisingly.
Don't underestimate it.
Not bad, not bad. Guess I should take you more serious. Good. No wonder
I was gonna say, I thought he had a phase 2, potentially.
that just means
I figured that.
brace yourself. This is about
Yeah, see, there's the,
now. Show me what you can do against the
Whoa, Brain, you can do it. Nope, Brain can't. Electro! There we go! I just kept thinking Pyro in my head, and I don't know why.
My royal decree!
We were winning!
Not bad. Your swordsmanship is quite impressive. But that's about as far as you'll get.
Yeah, I forget this is how we get Geo.
Didn't think you had that card hidden up your sleeve.
You were just playing us to get close to the Exuvia!
Paimon! Stop making us sound so naive. Yes, that's how it happened. You don't need to say it out loud.
Well then, I'll be taking Morax's Gnosis now. I see. Well, this is most unexpected. You beat me to it, didn't you?
Oh. Well, that's right. It's not a phase 2, it's a whole transformation. Are you okay?
Yeah, it's just my cough. I'm kind of choking on some saliva. Sorry about that.
Ooh, you hit the ground pretty hard there. You seem to be okay. Good thing there's plenty of Mora in here. Enough to pay for all the damage.
Yeah.
You got the Gnosis ahead of me, didn't you? Did you simply move faster? Or did you read the information of the critical
he think we wanted the nose?
I don't know.
Gnosis.
There we go. And I miss. Because of course I did.
Certainly jumped to some conclusions, hasn't he?
Yep.
Midnight Phantasmagoria. Dare to mess with me?
Whoop. Okay, need a shield.
Oh, you like We'll see about that. Here's the store.
I still don't quite know how you are organizing all this visual information in order to be able to dodge the way you are. Is it practice?
Probably.
Okay. Because I can barely tell the difference between your attacks and his attacks. But then again, you use these characters a lot, so you know what yours looks like.
Yeah.
And you can feel the
Outlander
timing.
versus Outlander. I'll let you off this time.
Yeah, we're not as much of a pushover as you
Back
think.
to normal again.
Well then, time to cool off. It seems the burden of the foul legacy transformation was too great for my body. I lacked the opportunity to think this through. And now that I consider the matter more carefully, you never had any chance of beating me to the Gnosis. You had no connection to the Gnosis, no matter where it had been taken.
That's what we've been trying to tell you. We didn't take it.
Your show of ability today far surpasses that of Senora's initial assessment of you in Mondstadt. Tell me, how could that be?
Because I'm gradually restoring my former power.
I was gonna actually select it because I'm collecting the powers of the 7 elements.
Actually, yeah. I mean, technically they're both true, but the second one reveals more about us, and in a situation like this, you would want to say the first one. Because it's more like surface level truth, whereas the second one is more like in-depth truth.
You already know the answer, don't you? I can see it in your eyes. But if that is a secret you wish to keep, I guess I'll just have to curb my curiosity. This battle has already left me satisfied. Anyone who strives as I do to grow stronger shall be called a friend. Even if our friendship can only be shown in battle against one another.
We're
I'm pretty
rivals.
sure that's not the normal way to make friends.
Excuse you. Have you
I
ever heard
must
of
bring this
Pokemon?
amiable conversation to an end. My quest still beckons. Given that the Gnosis wasn't taken by anyone, then we must look once again to the beginning. Perhaps it was never in the Exuvia to begin with. In
Dun,
fact,
dun,
it might
dun.
be that the Exuvia was just a diversion of sorts.
What? So you mean that
Rex Lapis still lives.
Yes, it appears so. Interesting to say the least. It seems that the guardian deity of the capital of commerce is also well versed in little maneuvers beyond the boundaries of contracts. As such, we must now look to our backup plan.
backup plan?
I had hoped it would never come to this, for the weak will be swept away in the process. The truth is, the world belongs to those who pursue strength. I seldom willingly involve myself with the weak. Unfortunately, we cannot be picky about our methods as Fatui Harbingers. Children must all learn to eat their vegetables sometime.
So what are you planning to do?
I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyon's stone forest.
How dare you?
God?
Osile, overlord of the Vortex, who was defeated by Morax, the Geo-Archon in the Archon War, and who has remained pinned beneath the waves by the Geo-Archon stone spears ever since. If such an ancient god were to be unleashed upon Liyue Harbor, defenseless without the protection of its deity, do you think the cunning Rex Lapis would just stand aloof and watch the ensuing destruction?
But the Archon War ended 2,000 years ago. How can an ancient god appear in a world now overseen by the Seven?
The world's more
Simple.
complex than that.
I've already prepared the means to awaken it.
Hey, those are sigils of permission. Oh, Paimon remembers now. The Fatui has been researching them.
You've been
That's-
trying to duplicate them.
Indeed. The one that was given to you was just a byproduct of our research. With the power of so many sigils of permission concentrated in one place, along with that which was bestowed upon me as a harbinger by our Tsaritsa, breaking the subduing might of the Geo-Archon spears for a time should be no obstacle. Using the powers of ancient gods in such a situation fails to interest me, and is largely against my principles. But knowing that such an action will not only force the Geo-Archon to show its hand, but you as well, that makes matters a little more intriguing.
Chapel reminds me a little bit of his values. Remind me a little bit of the values of people from Kremnos Kratos, who follow Nikador. Ooh. Now I read about this guy, but I didn't look up any pictures because I didn't want to spoil myself.
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more? If you wish to drown together with the people of Neva, you're free to stay and enjoy the show.
Huh? He's already gone. That guy is fast.
Well, lightning and water will do that. Or electro and hydro. We gonna keep going? We have to. It's only been 16 minutes.
Paimon's exhausted. If we hadn't happened to see the Jade Chamber flying over just as we came out of the Golden House, we really wouldn't have known which way to go. Did we make it in time? Is the Overlord of the Vortex still in the sea? It hasn't destroyed Leela yet, has it?
What are you doing here?
Ciao!
Huh? Hold on. It's the Adepti. What are you doing on the Jade Chamber? Paimon thought you were arguing with the Chisi. Is the fighting over?
Faced with the calamity of such
Meanwhile,
magnitude,
isn't an Adepti.
we have agreed to put our differences aside for now
Oh, but the
and
Adepti are
unite
here.
against this common enemy.
Yeah, the Adepti and the Chishain were fighting with each other prior to this.
Just seeing this Overlord of the Vortex guy puts a pit in Paimon's tummy, even from all the way out here.
It's not just you. You've got new Millelith recruits who can't even stand at attention without shaking. The force of an ancient god's presence seems to be too much for ordinary people to handle. Which is why we must stop that monster before it gets any closer to Liyue Harbor.
So the Archon War was fought 2,000 years ago against enemies like that thing? Now that's scary.
Oh, Paimon. Yeah, I don't blame Zhao. I know Zhao's story.
And Adepti gathered here.
Zhao's just like, you don't know what scary looks like.
We've already discussed this together, and our conclusion is not necessarily.
What? Wait, all of you were supposed to be the Guardians of Lilith. Can't you think of something?
One certainly could.
Huh?
The Chising did once research the matter of the Guizhong Ballista when it piqued their fancy. And as fate would have it, one who did craft the Guizhong Ballista with one's own hands is here. For what could you mortals ever learn of Adepti mechanisms? Yet it would take one, but a little tinkering to turn this ballista into an engine of war beyond your wildest thoughts.
I suppose this is one blessing from the Adepti that we should be thankful for. So be it. We shall use the upgraded Guizhong Ballista to fight off that god. All the Adepti here can lend their strength to man it. We haven't a moment to spare. Our battle begins now.
Yeah, we're not done yet.
Nope, not even close. I do like Cloud Retainer. And it is these that allow, like, if I've ever read anything about Cloud Retainer, she's basically an inventor and an engineer in certain ways. Big fat guy.
The three Adepti are manning the Guizhong Ballista. Do not let the Fatui disrupt their work.
All able Millilith, with me!
Let one get past you.
I'm working on it.
Okay.
Let one see what you are made of now. What strength
See, he came back over here like a good boy.
wishes to witness.
As he should.
Oh, there they are.
Oh, feel thyself!
So what do you think?
It's awesome, and if you can catch a picture at any moment, you should.
I don't know. I gotta fight the Fatui, so.
Oh, they appeared behind you.
Yep.
But I mean, moments in between fighting them, you might be able to nab a picture.
Okay, I'll try my best, but.
Specifically of, was it Osile, they call him?
Something like that. There.
Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know if it'll work, but I just thought it looked awesome.
I'll think about it.
That is Osial's divine power.
Oh, right, Osile.
Be careful not to get hit.
Oh, careful, he
You
said.
know, he just warned us and everything.
It's been a while, okay?
Yeah,
Cut me
I'm
some
teasing.
slack.
I'm teasing. I have no one to speak. I mentioned before that you've let me play on your main account to just sort of like explore and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I gave my hand at combat, and because I haven't played the game from the beginning, I have zero practice and zero knowledge of how most things work. And I got a success here or there, but most of the time I ended up handing combat back to you.
Yep.
Because, like, Slime Rancher parkour does not translate into Genshin fighting mechanics.
Yep.
Not in the slightest.
Oh, he broke the shield. That's why I'm having trouble. Oh, more enemies.
Yeah, she's an Adepti! Wait, was that a secret? I thought we knew Valentine was an Adepti.
We'll see about that.
Working on it, working on it, working on it. And I know Feruzan's kind of low on health. There we go. Yeah.
It's like I don't think you can heal those.
No, you can't. I was healing Feruzan.
Got it. But yeah, when you first play the game,
Take my power.
going through Mondstadt must be like...
Oh, speed's been increased.
Nice. Going through Mondstadt must be like, almost like a prolonged story / tutorial, because I know it's a prologue part of the chapter. It's chapter 0, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
But if you haven't gone through that, with all the visual information going on the screen, and having limited to 0 combat experience in the game, just jumping into Leowa's combat is not easy. Especially when you don't know what the characters are supposed to do and you're unfamiliar with what buttons to hit and the timing.
Yep. We got a timer, so.
What's the timer for?
I think that's possibly how long the battle is left.
Oh, yeah, how much time we have to continue defending them. Oh, especially since they're over there and attacking and it's getting worse.
Well, I got an increased speed, so
That must be what the red is.
something like that.
Better, it's additional protection from the Adepti to help us. Oh yeah, we definitely need to run fast because they're coming more frequently now.
Yep.
And they bring long-range weapons with them, gosh darn it.
Yep.
In other words, we both hear there's nothing worse to come, right?
He stopped in his tracks, that was great.
We're also getting like our ultimates quicker too. I just noticed.
That might be one of the blessings from the Adepti. Why do they keep going for that one? So if within these last 45 seconds, one of the ballistas goes down, do we have to start over?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh shoot, I didn't realize how much one has left. How did they get that much damage on
I
it?
tried to warn you that they were picking on that one.
Well, I'm working on it.
Once we finish this lot off, the Adepti will be able to deal with the god in peace.
Oh, is this the last lot? That would
Maybe.
be nice.
Maybe.
Will more show up in the next...
Just in case. Nope, we're good.
Okay.
The interlopers are no more. Now we may commit ourselves fully.
Angie.
It's working! We just need to keep this up!
Combined attack. Oh no. Hey. That's not fair. Off the platform unless you know how to swim or fly.
Be careful now.
The Genshin ballista is destroyed. Without its covering fire, retaliation shall be difficult.
But the Jade Chamber is our last line of defense. We can't give another inch, no matter what.
I have another idea.
What do you mean, Lady Ningguang?
I'll sacrifice the Jade Chamber. What is the meaning of this?
I understand.
Traveler, lend me a hand. Farewell, old friend. Goodbye for now. Let us meet again in the future.
I don't think I fully understand why her stabbing her sword into the Jade Chamber causes it to collapse, but there was a depthful energy involved and like a fancy cinematic. Let's not question it. Very nice. Fought
Is it
for nothing.
finally over?
The ominous aura of that monster has indeed begun to fade. The effects of the sigil of permission last but a short time. It will be some time before the Overlord of the Vortex can make any waves again.
We are indebted to you for your assistance. If the Adepti hadn't happened to be here, the future of Liyue Harbor would surely have been in great jeopardy.
Save your flattery. We didn't just happen to be here. Surely you won't pretend to have forgotten the reason for which we came.
Come now. There's no need for such harsh words, Cloud Retainer. I've heard that when Ningguang began learning to do business, she had already started setting aside part of her then limited income in preparation for building the Jade Chamber. At first, it was only the size of a small room, but with continued expansion it has become the palace that lies before you now. It is a testament to Ningguang's entire life, both as a businesswoman and as the backbone of the Liyue Qixing. Seeing the Jade Chamber destroyed in the defense of Liyue means much to her. To me, such cooperation and sacrifice deserves at least some recognition, don't you agree?
Thank you.
Well, I was really hoping you would say that such sacrifice could at least be used as some leverage in our negotiations. Thank you all for hearing me out. We know very well why the Adepti came here today. But please forgive us. We cannot yield to your wishes.
Oh.
3,700 years. According to our records, the Adepti signed a contract with Rex Lapis to protect Liyue 3,700 years ago. Even to this very day, Liyue and its lands have stood the test of time, immovable as stone, just as it was thousands of years before. This is truly no small feat. But that does not mean that the Liyue of today is the same city as it was all those years ago. Do not merely cast your protective gaze upon the land. Instead, focus your sights on our city and each of the citizens that dwell within it.
Are you questioning our means of protecting Liyue?
I mean no offense. I simply hope that our Adepti forebears would see Liyue in a new light.
Forebears, you say? One doubts you would be fit to be part of such a lineage.
This morning, Rex Lapis appeared to me in a dream.
What?
In the dream, I yearned to tell him that we Qixing, though mortal, are equally bound to the contract. Each passing generation of the Qixing leaves many things of value to be inherited by the next generation. I also thought to tell him how the past generations of Qixing had strove under his rule to survive in our mortal world, establishing a network of contracts which has since come to be known as trade. But I dared not speak. I could only gaze at him in silence until the moment I awoke.
Oh, Ningguang.
We're all on the same side here.
Yet another perspective. What are you trying to say, Outlander?
When there is a discord between the Guardians and those that were meant to defend, harmony becomes very difficult to restore.
Right. That's something that happened in Mondstadt. It's a story about the Four Winds and the people of the Animal Archon. The Animal Archon sought to quell the strife between the two sides because he believed that such conflict would only scar the hearts of both, and that nothing good would come of it.
This is what we learned in the City of Freedom.
Each of the 7 nations has its own scars from the past.
Though your point is the very height of simplicity. As Adepti, we've become a laughingstock, to be chastised thus by an outlander who has lent us such succor.
All right. Didn't Ningguang suggest that we should focus on the city and each of its citizens? I know I already have, so why not see for yourselves?
Well, Joe has his
I
reasons.
apologize for appearing in full armor. I am afraid I cannot show the proper courtesies.
And who are you?
I am Feng Yan, a sergeant of the Millelith. I have come to extend my thanks to the Adepti. I thought this battle would perhaps be my last. But thanks thanks to the aid of the Adepti, our forces were not as badly battered as I feared we might be. Although I am a mere mortal soldier, I promise to hold the line and never betray the grace given to us by the illuminated Adepti this day.
Huh? Why does everyone look so down? Didn't we just beat that big monster?
Weren't you frightened, dear? It was quite the predicament.
I wasn't afraid. All the strong Millelith guards were there, and those powerful heroes with their visions were there. Everyone was there. When danger is near, everyone always protects me. And the rest of the time, they make fun toys and tasty snacks and lots of things that make the harbor so pretty. Thanks for protecting Liyue Harbor. Please come visit us for the next lantern rite.
Unfortunately, we wouldn't be able to participate.
Huh?
Because we are Adepti.
Oh, okay. It must be hard being an Adeptus. Aww.
You see, this is what Liyue is like today. The country of contracts is grateful to the Adepti for their protection. But it is no longer necessary for the city to rely on the Adepti's power to solve every little niggling matter. Although their blood is weak, there is still strength to be found in those we call mortals. The time of contracts between gods and Liyue has long since passed. Now is the time of contracts between Liyue and its people.
Seeing the port around us now, it is hard not to feel a bit out of place. Wouldn't you say so, Cloud Retainer?
Your line of inquiry is askew. One did not spearhead this expedition to Liyue Harbor.
Seems like the Adepti have had a change of heart.
They've listened to what the people have said.
Mm-hmm.
Let us return now.
Eager to leave, Conqueror of Demons. Yes, one understands what the Conqueror of Demons means. The city of Liyue has changed much after our long separation. One fears that by the time one finally grasps the new contracts of Liyue, you humans would have once again changed the place beyond recognition. Fair enough. Away we shall, and return whence we came.
Since we Adepti have consensus, then one shall persist no further. But how will we ensure that the Liyue Chiefing will not simply exploit their power once we depart? In my view, that is still a thing to be guarded against.
All right, Mooncarver, you needn't worry. It seems to me that this right of supervision is best left to the people of Liyue.
Looks like the conflict between humans and Adepti was avoided. All's well that ends well, huh?
The Adepti were quite reasonable in the end.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right. It's nice that we've got peace and all, but we're forgetting one thing. Child wanted to unleash the god so he could lure Rex Lapis out. But we were able to handle the Overlord of the Vortex on our own. So Rex Lapis never showed up. Oh, and speaking of that, don't we still need to get to the bottom of that Archon's death too?
Sorry, Paimon, but we got achievements.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of them.
So, something interesting that one of the Adepti pointed out was that by the time they begin to understand the contracts made by mortals, mortals will change things again. And I think this is an interesting concept because I've actually heard it once before.
Okay.
Actually, I've heard it in D&D. A lot of races in D&D live longer than humans.
Okay.
And you would think that because they're cooler, stronger, all that fun stuff, elves, dwarves, giants, things like that, that they would look down on humanity, but they don't. humanity are oftentimes seen as the great achievers. It is because they have such short lives that they are constantly pursuing farther and farther into the future, greater and greater achievements. And so it's not uncommon within D&D lore for the other races that live exceptionally long lives to always be fascinated with just how much change happens so quickly. Like, it could take hundreds of years for elves to invent something because they live life at such a slower pace. But humans will achieve it in just a handful of months sometimes. And this just keeps going and going, and with all of us collectively together, in a way, it reminds me of what the Adepti are saying. We are growing fast and together so quickly that those who live long lives could blink and miss it with just how much we grow so quickly.
Anyway, before you can say anything else,
Is there anything I can do for you two? I'm afraid that Longsheng Funeral Parlor isn't in the best state to receive guests.
We've come to see Zhongli. Could you please tell him we're here?
Unfortunately, Zhongli isn't here at the moment. It seems he went to Northland Bank.
Doesn't the Northland Bank belong to the Fatui?
Yep.
Last time we saw Zhongli was before we went to the Golden House. Do you think he doesn't know about the attack on Liyue?
There's no way he doesn't
Visiting
know.
the Fatui at a time like this could only mean more trouble. We had better go and make sure that everything is okay.
But to the crux of my point, now that we're done with that, what the Adepti's perspective is, in my opinion, is coming to the very reasonable conclusion that because humanity is changing so quickly because of our mortality, we are thus growing at a rapid pace, and they have not kept up with our rapid growth and our growing ability to take care of ourselves in a way.
hold that thought again if you have more to say.
No,
'Cause-
that was it.
Okay.
That's just my perspective on that conversation.
Okay.
It may not be the most, like, wisdom-laced, fancy wordage, but, it's what I think.
Okay.
The Mooncarver is right. You gotta watch out for that, corrupt power coming into play. Even the most well-established
You call it
civilizations
cooperation between
can...
harbingers. Cooperation
problems.
involves communication, you know.
Don't take it to heart, child. Besides, aren't you happy that you got to skip the formalities and bring chaos to the land? I'm sure you must have enjoyed that. Oh, it seems that some of your friends have arrived.
Indeed.
It's Zhongli and Child. And you're also one of the Harbingers?
Signora.
It's you two. I believe we've met once before. In the City of Bards, was it? I'm glad you still remember my name. Ah, right. I imagine that it must have been rather hard to forget watching helplessly as something precious was snatched away from your friend.
I still have time to take it back.
I was gonna say, which one do we want to go for?
It's you. You've yet to gather the powers of all 7 elements. And our last battle at the Golden House was almost more than you can handle.
Paimon, don't say that in front of the enemy!
Peaceful this time.
Wow, way to just spill all of our flaws and weaknesses to those who can
You two.
absolutely
This is
defeat
our
us.
first time seeing each other since Liyue was nearly wiped off the map. This is certainly a bit awkward, wouldn't you say?
You made it awkward,
I
dude.
knew that we should never have trusted a Fatui Harbinger.
Oh, now don't say that. Sure, I may have misled you, but I never had anything against you personally. Besides, I thought we were getting along quite well together, didn't you? Except for that little tussle we had at the end. Nothing personal. We just have different views, that's all. Of course, you may very well hold this against me, but that's up to you. The real deceivers here are Senora and Zhongli. Curse them for leading me on. So actually, I think...
Stop wasting time, child. There'll be plenty of time to chat once I'm through here. You remember the agreement, Morax. Now, if you would be so kind. The Gnosis, please.
Agreement?
What in the world are you talking about?
The contract is fulfilled. That which thou seeketh is now bestowed unto thee. For my promise is solid as stone.
The Gnosis. Kind of looks like a chess piece.
How sanctimonious.
So Zhongling is actually Rex Lapis?
Dun dun dun!
So you're the Lord of Geo? No, wait. That's an exciting twist and all, but why give the Gnosis to the Fatui?
Good job, Paimon.
I do not give it for free. I give it as agreed upon in the contract. For it is a matter solely between the Tsaritsa and I.
Why did you feign death?
Yeah, you don't think you went a little bit too far with that whole fake death thing? Everyone was preparing the ceremony for you when splat! This big dragon falls out of the sky and all of Lyra goes into an uproar. Talk about a disaster.
That's kind of the point, though.
Gathering all the forces that had been bubbling behind the scenes, and then stirring them together in a pot that was bound to boil over. That's what he wanted to see. Am I right?
Wait, what?
Perhaps it's best that I explain.
Indeed.
As you know, I've dwelt upon this world for more than 6,000 years. It is now 3,700 years ago that I founded Liyue, together with the Adepti. Even boulders that can withstand whirlpools will erode with the passing of time. I kept convincing myself that cracks had not begun to form, and that the end of my time had not yet come, until one drizzly day. As I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You've finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
Oh, Zhongli.
But as I began to consider relinquishing my divine role, I soon discovered that many reasons still remained to not hastily depart. Was Liyue, the city I had dwelt in for so long, already prepared to enter its next age? I decided that a test was needed in order to reveal the answer. So I feigned my own death, and gathered the cast of Child, the Adepti, and the Liyue Chising to play their roles together on the stage that was Liyue.
So, were you satisfied with the finale?
Indeed I was. The Gnosis, which I had kept for so many years, suddenly seemed to have lost its meaning. That's right. Which is why I continued to safeguard the Gnosis until now.
So you mean that if the chaos ever reached the point of no return, you would simply appear and use your divine powers to bring Liyue back under control?
Of course, and it would have been all too easy for him too. Just as a child quickly matures after losing their parents, so has Liyue matured when faced with the death of its deity.
In the end, the resolution to all that has transpired was even more satisfactory than I could have hoped for. Take the Adepti, for instance. Owing to their years of seclusion, they were the least informed. Yet when faced with a crisis, they commendably showed the greatest amount of restraint possible. Not only did they manage to cooperate with the Chising, but in the end, they even made efforts to understand the hearts of the people. Credit is also due to Signora, the emissary dispatched by the Cryo-Archon to fulfill our contract. At my request, she kept everything she knew in strict confidence. This despite the eavesdropping ears of her colleague, Child. This meant I could remain as Zhongli, even having the chance to fulfill the age-old traditions of Liyue in this mortal form. Thank you for joining me on this journey, Traveler. All of these things turned out as I had planned. There was only one thing that I had not anticipated, and that was the conduct of the Liyue Qixing. I had expected them to do no more than the Adepti, to come to the defense of Liyue. But when all was said and done, they seized the opportunity to supplant Liyue's divine protectors, and used the subsequent power vacuum left by my death to quickly gain complete control of Liyue.
Yeah, humans are pretty good at that.
That doesn't sound good at all.
On the contrary, I think it is excellent. I had always feared that it was too soon for them to take over from me. And it was also that which I longed for the most. As such, this is the best parting gift anyone could have given this god of old.
Hey, what about me? Doesn't anyone feel the least bit of remorse for deceiving me? You've practically kept me in the dark.
Aww. Child
I
doesn't
think
like
that
being the
thanks would be more
puppet.
appropriate. You certainly played no small part in all of this, wreaking havoc and turning the city upside down. The Lord of Geo ought to thank you for your performance, if anything. If you hadn't created the pressure of a battle between mortals, Adepti, and a god, the lump of coal resting in the hands of the Geo Archon, Liyue would never have been able to become a dazzling diamond of a city.
Huh? Just whose side are you on, mocking
I
me
dislike
like
her,
that?
but I like her
Are
at the
you
same
itching for a
time.
fight?
We were both equally fooled.
Be that as it may, you've come out of this as
She's
the
just
hero,
like
Liyue.
us.
I, on the
Beautiful
other hand, will
and
be forever
deadly.
prescribed as a disturber of the peace, no?
Well then, with the Gnosis in my possession, I have no use for such idle chatter. We should return to Zapolyarny Palace and seek an audience with Her Majesty, the Tsaritsa. Come, child.
Kinda hope she becomes a playable character
I'll
at
let
some
you guide
point.
later.
Well,
Not
if it's a
sure
Cryo
what
Archon, then yeah, obviously.
Oh, you think
You
she's
and you.
Tsaritsa?
Maybe.
I haven't looked into that very much, actually.
Is there
Well,
anything
first
you wish
off-
to ask me?
First off, we don't know anything about the Cryo Archon yet as of yet. At least personally, I don't think there's anything. We just know there's a Cryo Archon and it's the next region.
Yep.
Because 6 of the nations already been released. 7th one is the last one. That's the Cryo one.
Can I pick?
Go for it.
What could possibly be worth a Gnosis?
Right! As Zhongli always told us, a good trade is a fair trade. Paimon has no idea what could be a good trade for a Gnosis.
Realistically speaking, there is no such thing.
Huh?
However, I am the god of contracts. For thousands of years, I have made countless contracts. If the deal was of no benefit, then I certainly would not be inclined to agree to it. My agreement with the Cryo Archon will be the last of my contracts as the Geo Archon. My contract to end all contracts. As for the bargaining chip that the Tsaritsa used to balance the scales, uncover that answer for yourself in your future journeys.
I wonder if what he's trying to say is that, as far as the contract was concerned, it isn't that he bargained the Gnosis, it's that he bargained his ability to not be free of, but to free Liyue of himself. Basically to retire. The value of him being able to retire must have been quite high, on par with using the Gnosis as the bargaining chip, per se.
Trying to organize it, it would be a real shame not to go there now.
That's just a theory. A Genshin theory. Pretty.
I know we're like 54 minutes in, but I still want to continue just a bit
Is
longer.
there a quick little thing we gotta do?
Yeah, we're doing the rites of parting.
Oh, yeah. Does that make this the last episode?
No,
Okay.
don't worry.
I'm like-
There's still more to do in Liyue than this. There's still lots more to do in Liyue than this.
Oh, I thought you meant that after we finish the main story, we would take a break.
No, no.
Well,
You want to finish all the Liyue stuff.
Exactly. Until we get to
side quests included.
and when we get to Inazuma is when we actually are done.
Ah.
culprit, did they? Oh, come on. Do you think that the assassin could have been a normal person? You know what I think? I don't think any of the gossip on the streets you hear from those shady types is worth anything. There's only one real possibility in my mind. I've heard that the assassin was that Fatui fellow. Youngish, pretty high in rank. I think they called him Child.
Dun dun dun.
Fatui? They certainly are very suspicious. Who knows what those greedy, crooked folks... Shh! Lower your voice. If the Fatui catch you in their sights, Rex Lapis won't be around to protect you this time.
You know that god from the ocean couldn't have just shown up out of nowhere. I mean, it's been 2,000 years since Rex Lapis subdued it.
It's been longer, actually.
Yes, and to think that this happened right on the heels of the incident with Rex Lapis, too.
Say, do you think the person who assassinated our lord and released that evil god might have been one and the same?
Now that you mentioned it, that's very possible. Yes, it's very possible indeed. I mean, it all fits together. That person must have colluded with the evil god to harm Rex Lapis.
Just be glad they don't have the internet. Can you imagine the chat rooms at this point? The conspiracy theories?
Yeah.
The QAnon rabbit holes?
Now it's just, with them, it's just gossip.
I have never heard of such a
Yeah, at least it's going to be traveling slow enough where it won't, like,
Forget it.
completely overrun things.
The Millilith over there looks like he's about to make an announcement. Let's hear what the Ministry of Civil Affairs has to say first.
Because you know if the internet were here, nothing the Milliliths say in the next 5 minutes could counter everything put on the internet in that 5-minute time period.
Hear ye all! The Chi sings words. Though a dragon soars ageless as the mountains, it too must return to dust. This is common knowledge. Gods and Adepti live glorious lives, but both light and shadow have their season. So too must they face divinely appointed trials. Rumors and hearsay abound on the streets that Rex Lapis was murdered. Now, let the truth be revealed. Having been thwarted in his trial, Rex Lapis's soul has recouped the celestial heights. He beseeches the people of Liyue to grieve not, and to let not their hearts be saddened. Nor are they to believe street-born rumors, or indulge in baseless speculation.
You've been called out. Basically, you're saying there was a divine trial, and he didn't succeed. Now he has to go back to heaven. Well, Celestia, technically.
They said that Rex Lapis died because of a divine trial.
So that's how they're spinning it.
It's not that bad.
Something
Explanation.
feels off. Why would they suddenly give up looking for the murderer? Not to mention how this excuse sounds like something they just made up on the spot. The Chi seem already have known that Rex Lapis wasn't dead? But Zhongli said that neither they nor the Adepti knew anything. Did Zhongli tell them in secret after his gnosis changed hands?
That's possible.
Exactly, right?
Ningguang tends to think 4 steps ahead of everybody. She might have suspected something.
Let's go have a look.
This one I actually don't remember the answer to.
Actually, before I go in there, I saw these and I wanted to collect them. Silk flowers, because they are for Hu Tao, if I remember right. If I remember right. I think they're for Hu Tao. Let me double check. This will be relatively quick. Yes, right there. Silk flowers. Just need one more and I can ascend her.
Oh, man. Just missing one. Hate when that happens.
Yep. I should be able to find them pretty relatively there.
Are they saying something? Are there speeches over?
As said previously,
Totally ignored Ganyu there.
Rex Lapis's soul returning to the heavens is the end of the contract. And it is also the end of an era.
3,700 years of contracts burnt and reduced to ash.
We, the people of Liyue, were indeed prosperous. but blinded by our prosperity, we forgot that time can be pitiless.
The long, unending dream of our Archon walking among us.
Now that we have awoken from our dream, we must learn to say farewell. Will you stand with us as we re-establish our contracts? As we build a new age of prosperity?
So concludes the words of Her Eminence the Tianchuan. Does Her Eminence the Yuheng have anything to add?
Huh? Is she looking this way?
Traveler.
Yikes! She really is looking our way.
Is that the traveler who they say defeated the ancient god?
We didn't defeat
So
them.
young.
The Liu Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
Whoa.
I'm looking for my brother.
Wow. Could you help me put up some missing person posters?
Final farewell.
Oh, that's too good. Just the expression on her face was just like, oh yeah, the posters! Because that's totally what she was asking for when she asked us what do we want in repayment and gratitude to show you. Like, that's really funny.
Rex Lapis. Rex Lapis. Now that I think about it, if everyone's of the same mind as me, perhaps mementos for Rex Lapis might be the best short-term business opportunity.
Smart man.
And to think I put my best perfume on before coming here, thinking you'd like it. But it seems as if those perfumes really were meant to be offered to Rex Lapis. Well, that's fine. Suffer no rivals in love, they say. And that's 3 gone in 1 stroke.
Okay, that was a conversation meant for the male protagonist. Potentially.
As for the mortals and Adepti of Liyue, what shape shall our relationship take from now on?
A cat! I like the shape of cats. Wow! You're just like, I'm just gonna launch myself into the moat.
Hey, Zhongli! Look at this. Everyone in Liyue is caught up in their emotions, thinking that they'll never see Rex Lapis again. And here you are looking all relaxed.
That's everyone?
Why would I not feel more at ease after laying down the burden I have borne for 3,700 years? Right. If the 2 of you can spare the time, I should treat you to a meal at the Shinya kiosk.
Ha! That sounds like big talk, Zhongli. Paimon might have believed you if you were treating us to some 3rd round knockout, but you'd have to pay out your nose just to stand inside Shinya kiosk. Are you sure you can afford it?
You're right. I do like the Mora.
You've been this way the entire time, but
But why would Morax lack Mora?
As the Rex Lapis Morax, I can easily create Mora. But since I have chosen to walk this earth as the mortal Zhongli, I should abide by the same rules that mortals do. When I was journeying with you...
Ah, yes, don't break the economy now that you don't control the
I knew that I
economy.
must soon retire from my role as an Archon. So I had to rehearse a little for my new life.
Oh, no wonder. Paimon gets it now. You didn't look at the price tags when we were spending because you've never had to. But since you weren't used to not being able to just make more Mora as and when you wanted to, you had to try becoming a parasite to society who lives off of other people's credit.
Well, we were only spending Fatui money. You don't have to say it like that. In the City of Commerce, we do not merely exchange money or goods. We also exchange knowledge, memories, and foresight, as well as positions, roles, and lives. The Archon Morax would never experience life as the true mortal Zhongli could, no matter how many times he descended to be with his people. I must thank you for that. I will treasure the memories that I made as Zhongli, traveling the streets of Liyue with you.
It was a fine journey.
That is true. But there is no journey that does not end. No meetings without partings.
Paimon thinks that we should make a move and continue our search for the Seven.
I fear that continuing your journey may be difficult. The nation that neighbors Liyue by sea, Inazuma, is presently closed.
Closed?
Yes. The nation has been closed by order of its deity, the Electro-Archon Ball. And just as the people of Liyue prefer to call me Rex Lapis, she too goes by another name among locals in Inazuma.
Paimon thinks we've heard that one before. Raiden?
That is the case. And since Raiden is also the Shogun of Inazuma, people call her the Raiden Shogun.
The Inazuma Shogunate. I think I said it right.
That said, though people at the wharf were saying that the situation in Inazuma is very tense, Paimon doesn't remember that always being the case. It wasn't that bad last year. Zhongli, since you're Rex Lapis, shouldn't you know something about what's happening there? Just how did Inazuma become a closed nation?
It's because of visions.
Visions?
When faced with circumstances beyond their control, humans often bemoan their lack of power. But if a person shows true strength of will at a desperate and fateful moment in their life, the gods will look upon them with favor. This is what visions are. Magical foci bestowed upon those who have been acknowledged by the gods.
Uh-huh. That's how people in Tibet see it.
But starting from last year, the Raiden Shogun began promulgating the Vision Hunt Decree.
Vision Hunt Decree?
Yes.
thing.
It was an order to seize all visions within Inazuma's borders, and to inlay them upon the hands of the statue of the omnipresent god.
They want to seize visions. But why? Aren't visions blessings from the gods?
I should think that in the Raiden Shogun's eyes, it is precisely because they are divine blessings that they should be under the sole dominion of divinity.
Whoa, that's harsh.
The Animal Archon is the god of freedom, and the Geo Archon is the god of contracts. For her part, the Raiden Shogun is the god of eternity. It seems as though she has finally decided to eliminate any unstable elements that could pose a threat to her eternal realm. The fact that even I, the oldest of the seven, have now passed away, will only strengthen her resolve to pursue eternity. Knowing her, she must have again quoted that adage she is most fond of when proclaiming that decree to her people. 7 ideals for 7 gods. And of these, eternity is nearest unto the heavenly principles.
Heavenly principles?
Very
All right,
important
then.
to her.
Was there anything else you wish to know?
Hold on. Trial, child, Liuachishe, Mora. We could ask about the trial.
Ah, that was a good one. Failing a divine trial. How they came up with that excuse, I will never know. That said, the reason why the Chising were so eager to resolve the incident and stop pursuing the culprit was indeed because they received news in secret that Rex Lapis was not dead. I hinted as much to the Adepti as well. How did I accomplish that, you ask? Have you ever heard of this particularly convenient Adepti art known as gifting dreams and visions? All right then. Was there anything else you wish to know?
That's up to you. I'm good with the rest.
Well then, I suppose you'll have to find a way to get inside this closed nation. Have patience. I suspect that some serendipity must first come into play.
And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Ready to wrap up?
Yep.
Thank-
Is this it for Leo?
No.
Okay, just double checking.
No. There's still a little bit more left to go.
Yay!
In fact, actually, in the quest, I don't know if I've done it yet or not. I'm gonna double check something. Is it in here? Yes, we're gonna be doing this one.
Yes! I know what this is!
You want to do it next?
Yes!
Okay. Anyway, thanks so much for watching this episode of Genshin Impact the Series. I'm Big LT.
I'm Vanessa Parker.
Final words?
We're gonna decorate a teapot. We're gonna decorate a teapot.
We'll see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe. Take care. Bye-bye.